Bisbee sits atop a steep hill nestled in the foothills of the Mule Mountains in southeastern Arizona. Like many small towns in this state, it owes its existence to the copper industry, a fact that is hard to miss as you wind your way up the narrow roads that lead to the town's center. The road is dotted with old mine shafts, now sealed off and painted with warning signs. It's a stark reminder of the dark history of this charming town. But Bisbee is unique. Unlike the many abandoned mining towns scattered throughout Arizona, it is still a thriving, populous community. Over 5,000 people call this small city home, and there is a bustle to the streets that is hard to find in other mining towns. But Bisbee is also known for something else: its ghosts. The town's mining history is rife with tragic stories of workers meeting their end in the treacherous copper mine shafts. And as a result, many of their souls are said to still roam the streets, their spirits unable to rest until they have resolved their unfinished business. Now, despite this eerie reputation, Bisbee remains a charming and welcoming place. Even if you don't have any paranormal encounters, there is no denying the unique energy that pulsates through this town. It's a testament to its resilience and character of its inhabitants, both living and dead. Founded in the 1880s, Bisbee was named after Judge DeWitt Bisbee, who financed the Copper Queen mine. This mine would go down to become one of the richest copper mines in the world and bring immense wealth to the town, but it also brought tragedy. In its early years, miners were forced to work long and dangerous hours in poor conditions. They faced hazards such as cave-ins, explosions, and toxic gases. But despite these risks, many men came to Bisbee looking for work as miners, a job that paid significantly more than other occupations at the time. But for many of these men, their hard work would be cut short by tragedy. In just over 70 years of operation, the Copper Queen mine claimed over 200 lives. These deaths left behind grieving families and unresolved spirits. One such victim was a young man named Joseph Smiley Cassis. Smiley was only 17 years old when he lost his life in an underground accident at the Copper Queen mine. According to legend, his ghost could still be seen wandering through the town streets and alleyways, searching for his missing arm that was never recovered from the accident. The unfortunate fate of Smiley and others like him has left a lasting imprint on Bisbee's history and culture. The town has become not only known for its rich mining heritage, but also for its paranormal activity. Bisbee's reputation for paranormal activity extends beyond just the streets. The town is also home to several haunted hotels, each with its own unique ghostly tale. The Copper Queen Hotel, located in the heart of Bisbee, is arguably the most famous haunted hotel in town. As one of the oldest buildings in Bisbee, it has a long and storied history that includes hosting famous guests such as Theodore Roosevelt and John Wayne. But it's not just the living who have stayed in the Copper Queen Hotel. It is said that three spirits still linger within its walls. The most well-known is a woman named Julia Lowell, who lived in the hotel in the early 1900s. Her husband was a miner who worked at the Copper Queen mine, and she spent her days waiting for him to return from work. After his untimely death in a mining accident, Julie had never left the hotel, and she could still be seen roaming around her former room. Another ghostly figure spotted at the Copper Queen Hotel is that of an unknown man who appears in various rooms throughout the building. He is thought to maybe be a miner who died while working at the nearby lavender pit mine. But perhaps the most chilling encounter reported by guests of the Copper Queen Hotel involves a little boy named Billy. According to legend, Billy lived in one of the rooms on the third floor with his family in 1935. One day, he tragically fell down an elevator shaft and died instantly. This elevator shaft is getting everybody in hotels gets the old elevator shaft treatment. I'm beginning to sense a pattern, and I'm beginning to think that somebody might be telling us a little bit of a boo-boo. Now, his spirit supposedly haunts the same floor and can be heard playing and laughing with unseen friends. So far, that's Alabama, Alaska, and now Arizona that have all of these ghost tours in all of these hotels. Somebody fell down an elevator shaft. Now, I've stayed in a lot of hotels and been in a lot of buildings in my life, and elevator shafts have not been that much of an issue. At least I don't think. Maybe were they just holes in the walls at that time? I'm curious. More research must be done. Welcome to Haunted American Elevator Shafts. Now, just down the street from the Copper Queen Hotel sits another historic building, the Bisbee Grand Hotel. This quaint bed and breakfast boasts exactly 13 rooms. Oh boy. One notable specter said to linger at this hotel is that of Mrs. Logan, a former owner whose portrait still hangs in the lobby. Guests have spotted her greeting them at check-in and checking on them in their beds at night. No, thank you, Mrs. Logan. I assure you, I'm good. You don't have to come in my room at night. If I come there, stay in the lobby or outside or across the street or somewhere that's not my room. Thank you. It was originally a boarding house for miners, so do what you will with that information. Hey, folks. So we just finished talking about, well, I just finished talking about the Copper Queen Hotel and the Copper Queen Mine here in Bisbee, Arizona. And we heard another elevator shaft story, as I
It's my
prefaced on
favorite.
Monday. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. And for those of you watching, I'm Haunted Chris again this week. Haunted Chris. I spelled my name correctly today.
Yay.
Which is nice. And Megan's mocking me by making her name Haunted Miss.
Haunted Miss. You know, it's funny. I think I'm funny because obviously it rhymes with Chris, but also because I, am well, I guess I'm not technically a miss since I'm married, but you get it.
Oh, I get it. So I actually had someone reach out to me and tell me a story about the whole elevator shaft thing and where she believes the origin began. She sent me a voicemail. Now I'm not going to go too deep into it. I didn't want to research too much into it because it originates, in her opinion, in Kentucky. And obviously we're in Arizona, so I don't want to touch Kentucky yet. Well, I'll touch it when I get there. But the legend is, I believe it's the Seal Box Hotel, I believe is what she said. And the legend there is of a bride whose husband was either killed right before the wedding night or he took off before the wedding. So she threw herself down the elevator shaft and she haunts the hotel. So that's like one of the legends going around about this hotel. But the truth is that she was they say a party girl, and she was found at the bottom of an elevator shaft sometime in the 30s. And she was obviously dead. And there was a prominent politician at the time who was accused of her murder. And he got off because of his stature in the local government there. So, she's like, I don't know if that's where the origin story of the whole elevator shaft lady in white kind of thing happened, but that one is actually like documented. There's newspaper articles about it from the time, and sometime around 1934. So it's, it is, I agree. She said that, how fascinating it is that these stories kind of link. And, I agree. You
I
see
mean,
these kind of things passed down from story to story. And like it said,
yeah.
folklore goes, it's word of mouth. It's It's a traveling story that, someone from Kentucky who knew this could have ended up somewhere in Arizona at the time, or Alabama, or Alaska, and they told this story, and just like a game of telephone, it kind of morphs into things. But you know, is it are people guilty of the power of suggestion? Because they say they see these entities,
Right.
but if you're told a story enough and you're told that the place is haunted, does your brain start playing tricks on you? Which is something I strongly agree with, because now I am convinced that the room I record in is haunted, because all the times I talk about it, and I have a lamp in this room, that this house now, our house, we have on the second floor, have no overhead lights. There's only 2 rooms in the on the second floor of the house that have overhead lights. And it's the bathroom. It's both bathrooms.
Just the 2 bathrooms. Yeah,
The
that's
2
it.
bathrooms. The bathroom attached to our bedroom, and the main bathroom upstairs. Those are the only lights that have the only rooms that have lights in the house. Everywhere else is just, they have those, what are they called? The light switches.
Well,
They
yeah,
have a
like
term.
in that, whatever the term is, but it's in the outlet. One specific, it's like the top
Right. It's
outlet
one
of
out
the
right.
outlet.
The light switch in the
Does
room
that make
controls
sense?
half of an outlet. So they say it's
Yes.
like the lamp outlet. So like
Yes.
every room that we have has a lamp in it that is controlled by that. Don't get me started. I need to put overhead lights in this house immediately. But I've kind
And
of used to it now, but I really, every time I think about it, it just angers me.
yeah, I hate not having the overhead lights, and it's really funny because not to go on a little bit of a tangent, but I always see videos and stuff on social media where the girl always hates overhead lights and likes the mood lighting, like just the table lamps and stuff. I am an overhead light girl. I wanna just flip on a switch and not be bothered and be able to walk into a room
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have it be bright so I don't stub my toe.
Right. The lights they're so dim, the lights that we have, the bulbs,
So
but I mean,
dim.
we're really not up here. I mean, I just record in here, and I usually leave it dark because I don't care. This is,
Mhm.
in our bedroom, I go into sleep, so very rarely are the lights going on. I just turn the light on to, like, I don't know, get dressed. But it's like,
Yeah,
other than
no, I
that,
know. It's not, you don't need it like long term. I'm more of a convenience girl though.
no, yeah,
It's
right.
like if it's dark
I'd like to have a
upstairs
light.
because yeah, if the baby's asleep and I don't want to turn on the bright hall light and let light kind of seep into her room just to
Yeah,
be able to see getting to my bedside lamp. I
yeah,
mean, I would like that.
that'd be
But
nice.
anyway, so yeah, so
So,
your
yeah,
lamp, tell the story
so
about your
right, so
lamp.
my lamp, you turn the lamp on and off with, obviously, the little dongle on the lamp, or with the light switch. So now
Is that what it's called?
a dongle?
A dongle?
Probably. I don't know. I mean,
I don't
that's what
know.
you never heard the word dongle before?
I'm gonna Google it right now. I don't think I've ever heard the word
You've never
dongle.
heard dongle?
A
What's wrong with you?
small device that connects to a computer or other electronic device to provide additional function. So a dongle is what the little USB is that you hook into your computer for like your wireless mouse or keyboard.
Or it's the thing that turns the lamp on and off. Um, so yeah, so that's I don't use that, obviously. I use the light switch on the wall. And I flipped it on, yeah, and the light didn't turn on. I said, "What the?" So I went and I turned the switch, and I said, "No, I didn't do that." So I went and asked, Megan. I said, "Did you turn the light off in the office? Did I leave it on?" She's
Wasn't
like, "No,
me.
I don't go in there." So I said, "Hmm." So I went and I did. I said, "Maybe I did it." So now it happened again. Then the next day, I go
Mhm.
back into the room, and the light switch is in the up position. So that means that the light's on, but the light's not on. And I go and I hit the dongle again, and it turns the light on. And I said, there's a ghost in here.
I don't
Someone's
know. I
screwing
think
with me.
maybe you're subconsciously like I don't know because it's not easier to turn the light fixture than to just hit the
Just
switch.
hit the switch.
So
The switch is right next to the door. Why would I go and touch the
I
the
know.
lamp itself? I wouldn't go and
I
touch it.
know.
So something is turning the lamp on and off in this
And
room.
our daughter's too young, she's not even
She can't do
2.
it. Right. She's not
She
she's
can't do
not
it.
playing pranks on me yet.
No, she's still in a crib in a sleep sack, she can't get anywhere.
Right. The dog would, if he could, he
He
would
would he
probably do.
would he would mess with you, 100%.
But he's not, because he's a dog. So only logical explanation is An elevator shaft ghost.
I mean, the story of our house, it's not true because I looked up news articles because I needed to know. Our house isn't that old. It was built in the 80s, but um it was thought that the original builder and owner of the home died in the home, but that's not true. He died up in like New England somewhere.
Yeah, the
I think
story
he was
was
on
that he
vacation.
died here and like stashed a whole like bunch of money in the walls.
Yeah, like
And
hidden in the house somewhere. We haven't found any.
we haven't found any. So, and it was funny because when we were buying the house, the person who was selling it at the time was saying that people were just like coming to the showing who knew and were like asking, like, "Hey, you ever find any money in this house?" Or
He said this his son came, remember?
yeah, the son
The
of
man's son
the guy who
came and
built it.
like yeah,
Yeah, it's like my dad hid money in these walls. I
he
would
never
knock
found it.
this house down if there was.
If I thought that was true, yeah, I'd be ripping out
Yeah,
drywall.
no, yeah, right. This whole house would be destroyed. So anyway,
So, anyway, there's a ghost in our house
so there's a ghost in the
messing
house.
with you, turning the light
Yes,
on and off.
turning lights on and off and doing all kinds of tomfoolery to me.
Tomfoolery. Yes, we need to work tomfoolery into every episode
Every
now.
episode, I'm gonna try.
Okay.
So Bisbee, Arizona. This is one of those old timey mining towns where, wish I wasn't in a Mickey Mouse shirt. Uh, where
It's for
you
your
know,
daughter. It's fine.
yeah, it's true. A lot of haunted locations take place in these kind of towns because of the history there. The gold rush, and in this case, the copper rush brings in a lot of people in a very troublesome time, I guess, where a lot
Mhm.
of uncertainty back then. People are doing anything they can to survive,
A lot of
and
sickness.
a lot of sickness, a lot of poverty, and people are desperate to make it big, make it rich, provide a better life for their family, and brought a lot of people and a lot of desperate people. So that's why you get a lot of these kind of ghost stories in these towns, because there's a lot of negative energy that surrounds these towns. So, right down the road from the Copper Queen Courthouse, nope, the Copper Queen Hotel, is the Bisbee Courthouse. It's located in the heart of downtown Bisbee, and it's not only a historical landmark, but apparently it is a hub of paranormal activity.
Let's go.
Now, the courthouse was built in 1904, and it served as a center of justice and law for well over a century. But it wasn't just the legal proceedings that had taken place within those walls. Now, according to many witnesses, both official and unofficial alike, the courthouse is home to a number of ghosts. Now, the top floor of the courthouse is known as the Old Jailhouse. Before it became a courthouse, the top floor of the building was used as a jail. And visitors who have explored the area report feeling an oppressive and eerie presence. Many have described the feeling as though they were being watched or even followed. And some have even claimed to see ghostly apparitions of former inmates who peek out from their cells or even wander down the corridors. And others have heard faint whispers and moans coming from empty cells. And, when they go and investigate, they see that they're empty. So the peeking is what really gets me. I'm very afraid of things peeking at me. It's one of my biggest fears that I have. And I could tell you where it's birthed from.
Ooh.
The movie Communion, if you've
Okay,
ever
I don't
seen
know
it.
this story. Go ahead. I've never seen it.
So the movie Communion it's not a very good movie, but it's a Christopher Walken movie about aliens. Aliens come and, torment his family. I really don't I've only ever seen the movie one time. And it was
And
when I
once
was
was enough.
and once was enough, and I was very young. And no, I saw it when after I watched it, because I had to find out what this was.
Okay.
But I used to fall asleep, obviously. I still do fall asleep with the TV on, even as a kid. And I woke up one morning, it was the middle of the night. It was like, I don't know, channel 11 on. And sometimes, where I am in New York, it would be like the late night movie or something.
Mhm.
And that night it happened to be the movie Communion. And there's a scene in the movie where now that I've seen it, I know about the movie. So I know they left their home and they went to hide out in like a farmhouse somewhere, and the aliens that are following them find them, and he thinks they're in the house, and he's looking, he's walking through the hallways in the house, and he hears a noise, and he looks, and he sees the door is like creaked open a little bit, and it's a long shot down a long hallway. And this is like the part when I was a kid that I woke up to, and I'm looking, and just from behind the doorway, just it peeks out, like half of its face shows up. And that was it for me. I said, "Oh my God," scared the shit out of me as a kid.
That is pretty
And
terrifying.
yeah, it's really well done. That's like the only good part of the movie. But ever since that, like any kind of door, I'm just watching. I'm like, something's gonna fucking peek and get me. I know
How
it.
did I not know this about you?
Yeah, that was really creepy. I'm always waiting for something to peek.
Now I got to teach Cordelia.
Yeah, to peek. Oh, if a kid does it,
Peek around doorways and stuff. Oh,
come
that's my
on.
next mission.
That's not cool.
Hmm,
Yeah, well, I don't like
Pretty
it.
funny though. She'll do it really cute.
Yeah, but it'll still be really scary. So that's that I don't care for.
Yeah, that's a little terrifying.
Yeah, no thanks. There's a particular area in the courthouse that seems to be particularly active, and it's the Division 2 judges' chambers. Employees who work in that part of the building often report smelling tobacco, despite it now being a no smoking building and no smoke around. Now, some believe that this could be attributed to there was a former judge who was known for his love of cigars, and they say the smell of tobacco and cigars permeate the area where this judge used to be. There's some employees who also report that doors mysteriously open and close on their own, as well as objects that move without explanation. And some have even claimed to see the judge roaming around late at night when the building is supposedly empty. Late night security of the area has seen from the windows people in judges' robes walking past the window.
That creeps me out a lot. Like if you know a building is empty and you see shadows or figures in a window, that doesn't sit right with me.
Don't care for that one bit.
Were the hauntings reported after like the jail cells were no longer used? They were like
after
prisoners
it
who
was
passed away in the cells kind of thing, and then the story started? Okay.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Okay.
That's what the reports come.
So it wasn't like haunted grounds or anything. It was
No, it was just
due to the prison being there with people who died within the walls.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. No thanks. Criminal ghosts? Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Any ghost. I don't care what it is.
Any ghost, but especially like if it was like a mean person.
Yeah, well then they have a bone to pick.
Yeah, they're coming for you.
And these are all places in Bisbee that could be visited. Like that's basically the big part of this whole series of me going through the ghost tours. Like these are places that you can go to. So if you're in Bisbee and you want to just throw us in your ears and be like, "Oh, by the courthouse, what are they talking about? Let's see. Let me look at the windows. Let me see if I can get inside." And
Spot a judge.
Obviously, don't break no breaking and entering, please. But if they're offering tours, go check it out. Check these places out. I am going to do my best to visit these places. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out to Arizona. Just as like I wasn't going to be. I said I wasn't going to be able to get out to Alaska. But
let's try to focus on East Coast for visits.
Let me get to Jersey.
Year.
Yeah, right. The Jersey places, New York, Pennsylvania. Might even go crazy and get to Delaware, Connecticut. But yeah, that's the goal, is to visit these places.
I love seeing like abandoned prisons and jails and stuff. Like I love going to, it eventually talking about Pennsylvania. Big one is Eastern State Penitentiary.
Eastern
right?
State, so I did an episode on that, and I visited Eastern State. It's great.
It's so cool. And I had visited a couple jails and stuff when I was abroad in Ireland. So it's just, I love that stuff. That's so fascinating to me.
Yeah. And for as long as I've been doing this show, I've been saying how much of a coward I am when it comes to these things, but curiosity is getting the best of me.
I'll go with
And
you.
if
I'll hold your hand, little baby.
oh, thanks.
You're welcome. How much do you hate me right now?
The headless judge is another person in
You
the
just move right
Bisbee.
along.
Move
You
right
don't
along.
even care that I'm so caring about you, and I'm
I
gonna keep
care
you
so
safe.
much.
I
Care the most.
promise.
Thank you. The headless judge, who is perhaps one of the most famous stories associated with the Bisbee courthouse. It's said that in the 1930s, one of the judge working at the courthouse literally lost his head. Do you want to guess how?
Elevator shaft? No, I'm not even close. I win.
In an accident involving an elevator cable.
Ooh, did it snap?
I think that's what happened. The details that I'm trying to find out, the way the elevators used to work, they weren't really enclosed, I guess. It was kind of
I'm
very
picturing in my mind like caged elevators like you see in the
yes,
Titanic, like that.
yes, like that. And the cable broke and kind of just wrapped around and yoink, popped that little mug right off.
It's terrible.
So since then, many employees and visitors both alike have reported seeing a headless figure wearing judge's robes wandering around certain areas of the
Whoa.
courthouse. So some believe, they say it walks on a particular path, which was from this judge's chamber to a certain office and they think that he's whatever form of business he was on when he died, he's still trying to carry it out.
He's trying to finish.
So he just keeps walking the same path without his head from his chambers up to,
Oh,
I
and he
guess there was
never
the
made.
filing office, and he never made it. So that's where that whole corridor is where he's seen a lot.
Ooh, I just got chills.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's sad. Imagine you're just at work and then like you're just not all
That
of
would
a
be
sudden
literally the worst thing that would ever happen to me if
to die at work.
and just stay there forever.
Oh, and for eternity, your spirit is just at work.
Ugh.
Ugh.
It's like, another case of the Mondays every day.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Terrible.
probably 99% of the people out there would say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not about it. I don't like it. I don't care for it. Not a fan of it.
No, and then in your afterlife, it's like you're just trying to work too. Come on.
Yeah,
Go just haunt some people. Don't go to the filing room. You're done,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. No, I'm all right. Now we further venture down into Bisbee,
Did you
and we
just see the
come.
lights flicker?
Yeah, the lights flickered up here too. Come on, I'm alone up here.
I'm alone down here.
Yeah, but you got the dog.
Yeah, some help Yoshi is.
He'll always bark. He barks at everything, so you'll get warning. A ghoul could come and get me, and I got no shot. They could be standing behind me. I don't know because I have the stupid green screen up, and no, I can't see anything. And
That's
the
true. At
door,
least I can see what's going on.
right, the door. I have to stare this way to see if this door creeps open. You
And
sneak in
somebody
here all the
peeks.
time. I have headphones on. I don't know. There
I
could be a
do sneak
peeker.
in.
I get scared so many times, and you
But
just
I
open
don't
the
even
door.
sneak. I just open the door thinking that
Yeah,
you're
but
gonna see or hear me,
I
and you
don't
you
do
don't.
it. I don't see anything that happens in here. I'm laser focused on this.
I know.
So I'm just like researching and writing and talking. Also in Bisbee, you will find the Bisbee Bed and Breakfast. Nice, cute little quaint little place. And it is another historic building. And it's a Victorian style house that was built in 1902
Ooh.
by a husband and wife named George and Lillian Zabel.
Ooh.
And it is said to have been haunted ever since its construction. Multiple staff members and guests alike have reported feeling a presence throughout the house, with some even claiming to have seen apparitions and some who have experienced unexplained phenomena.
Hmm.
Now, the most frequent reports of paranormal activity come from two places in the house, and one of them, already when I hear the name, it's gonna throw me off because it's room 13. Room 13 just so happens to be the haunted one.
I know. So much
Is it
surrounds the number 13, right? It's
right,
it's almost like, are you trying too hard
right,
to get this story to sound spooky?
right.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's like room 13. You could have been just it could have been room 2, and it would have still been just as a scary story. So now
Mhm.
I kinda take these reported sightings and stuff with a grain of salt, but also there's another room in the bed and breakfast called the Blue Room. Why don't you just call the room 13? Why is it room 13 and the Blue Room? This is a mishmash of
Yeah, that's
rooms.
a little weird.
Very strange. Room 13 is considered to be, by many, the most haunted room in the entire bed and breakfast, and some say it's the most haunted location in all of Bisbee. Guests who
That's a
have
pretty
stayed
big
in the
title
room,
to have, like,
yeah,
in
because
the
we
whole
just talked about the
town?
courthouse and the Copper Queen Mine and the Copper Queen Hotel, and,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things haunted, but, yeah, room 13 in the Bisbee bed and breakfast. Guests who have stayed there report feeling like they're being watched or touched while sleeping.
Ooh.
Now, I don't like that at all, and they wake up and catch shadowy figures moving quickly around the room, which I don't like speed and things I can't see and things being touched when he's sleeping. And people wake up to even find their belongings rearranged, things moved to different locations. That's pretty pretty scary.
That's scary. I don't like when you even just brush my shoulder when we're sleeping. I'm like, "Get out of
No.
here." So imagine a imagine a
Yeah,
ghost.
yeah. I don't care for it.
No.
The Blue Room, though, is said to be home to a spirit that enjoys making its presence known. It makes noises such as heavy, heavy footprints. I felt like something just touched my shoulder. I swear to God. God damn it, Chris. You get in your own head. This is what happens. And imagine I go to one of these places. Can you imagine what this would be like?
I don't know if you'd make it through, like, if it was an overnight kinda thing, I don't know if you'd make it.
No, I'd freak. I got goose flesh all over my whole body right now.
You probably can't wait to be done and just get
Yeah,
out of
I
there.
just like, all right, let's wrap it up. The speed, man. All right, so the blue ghost in the Blue Room really likes to make its presence known. Heavy footsteps and whispers are heard in this room. Leads some to believe that maybe a former guest who never was able to check out, but I couldn't find any such reports of people dying in there, so I don't know. But there's another room. The lights just flicked again. God damn.
Y and just again, I know you can see it on my screen,
Oh, I
anybody
know. Oh, I
watching.
can. I see the reflection of the chandelier
Yeah.
in the picture behind you, and I see it getting brighter, and I don't care for it. Jesus Christ. Gotta get out of here. Now, the most intriguing tale associated with the bed and breakfast is that of the grandma room. So we got room 13, the Blue Room, and the grandma room. How big is this house, first of all? But many guests who stayed in that room claimed to see an older woman standing over them at night. But there's conflicting reports though, because some say they describe her as it's like comforting and protective feeling, and there's others who feel a sense of unease. So I guess it's kind of the way you look at things, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel uneasy, then you probably just generally feel uneasy with
I
spooky
would feel
things.
uneasy if I woke up and there was an old lady standing above. I don't even like walking in the room my grandmother's in. I'm just staring at it. It's like, she's still here, or is this something happened and I'm the first one finding the spirit?
Tell the story of when you were sleeping and you had to get up for work when you were younger and she would be
Oh,
there.
oh yeah. Like I've been getting like when before she lives, with my parents now, but when she would come and visit, she lived in Kentucky and we lived in New York, but so she would come and spend like I don't know a week or two at a time. Now I'm in like my early 20s. I'm working, like I have a full time job. Get up every day. I'm on time every day. But when she was there, she would make sure. It would usually be like 15 minutes before my alarm was getting ready to go off, and she would just poke her head in my bedroom, and you would just hear Chris, Chris, you gotta wake up for work.
Chris.
And I'd be like, Grandma, I'm awake. I'm waking up 10, 15 minutes. I get up every day. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So if I saw a ghost of an old lady standing over my bed going, Chris,
You'd be like, "Grandma, what are
I'd
you
be like,
doing
what are
here?"
you doing here? Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Now, there's a lot of, research into the history of this building that's from what I found, it seems to be still going on.
Hmm.
So, I mean, there's not a lot about it. So, listen, if you're out there and you want to do me a favor, book yourself a stay and let me know what happens.
This is a good call out to anybody listening in the area
Anybody who wants
because
to listen and
I
wants
know
to
you're
come
having
on.
some trouble finding, the details to back these claims up.
Yeah.
So, if
So,
anybody
listen,
wants to go and experience firsthand a
if anyone
stay and
wants,
see if you get any spookiness,
anyone wants to take that L,
take that out.
because I ain't doing it.
I would do it. We're too far away.
Went too far away. I would do it if it was close. I wouldn't do it.
I would 100% do it.
Now, there is another bed and breakfast in Bisbee. Bisbee seems like a hopping town.
Is it traditionally outside of, like the lights again, um, outside of the spookiness? Is it a touristy town in general? Is
I
that
don't
why?
think so. I mean,
Or
it
is it
seems very nice from what I've seen. It looks
okay,
like a beautiful small town. Like the kind of place that I would really enjoy is what it looks like.
except it's haunted?
Except it's riddled with ghosts.
Yes.
So this one is the Oliver House Bed and Breakfast. And it's another Victorian style inn that's been open for over a century. But beneath its nice little quaint exterior is a very dark history, a tragic history that has left some visitors with more than the fond memories you would have when you just vacationing with people and staying at these nice little places. Like the mass murder that took place there in 1920.
Oh, mass
Yeah.
murder.
Oh, yeah. It was horrific.
How many murders?
So a man discovered his wife
Mm,
having an affair
mm.
with somebody, another guest of the hotel, I guess. I don't know now.
Ooh.
I don't know if they were both staying at the hotel or they met there, or they had their rendezvous at the bed and breakfast and the husband found out about it. But regardless, he went to the hotel and in a fit of rage proceeded to kill both his wife and her lover.
Oh, no.
He then, after that, proceeded to go room to room
Mm.
and killing everyone he found inside.
Oh.
Now, according to witnesses who stay there, there's a man who calmly walks down the halls and knocks on doors. Lights just flickered when I said that.
Oh, did you see mine too?
Yep.
Huh.
The sounds, people can hear things that sound like firecrackers in the middle of the night. People are saying, gunshots. The aftermath left several bodies scattered throughout the building, and there's just not good things happen there.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And since then, there have been reports of paranormal activity at the Oliver House. Guests have reported hearing footsteps, doors slamming, the silhouette of someone walking up and down the hallways.
Wow.
People have claimed to see apparitions standing at their bedside or laying in their bed. And they believe those are the people who were killed that night in the 1920.
Wow.
Now, again, there's another haunted room and guests who've stayed there. Now, there's a couple of different reports on the number. Like I see room 13 again, which is, I don't know who's.
It's just very superstitious
They
people, I
just
feel like.
people. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. They're just saying, "Oh, this room 13."
Mhm.
So there is a room. If you head there and ask about it, they'll know. But any information, I saw it was room 2 or 3, I think, and then this one
Mhm.
said room 13. So I don't know. But guests who have stayed in that particular room, it's the whatever room that the husband found his wife in. That's the main focal point of the haunting. And guests who've stayed in that room have reported experiencing a lot of strange occurrences such as lights flickering, turning on and off by themselves, objects moving, and the feeling of being watched. A lot of the familiar things you get with these kind of rooms.
So, question, after he killed everybody, did he kill himself?
Well, yeah,
Oh,
yes, he
sorry.
did.
Okay.
It's the suicidal man. So the man, after he found everyone, he did
Oh.
kill himself. And they see a ghost reenacting that suicide. You could
That
turn a corner in this bed and breakfast, and there's someone in front of you, putting a gun to their head. And
I don't even know what to say to that, because I know the last time on the last episode when we were talking about like what we envision a ghost to be like, right? Like, you saw Charlie and
Right.
he was in a brown suit, and in my mind a
Right.
ghost is like a transparent figure. So it's like, imagine if that spirit is in full color and you think it's
And you
a human
think it's a person, right? Imagine what
about
that
to
does to you.
commit suicide.
Yeah.
That is mind-blowing. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Other guests in that room wake up in the middle of the night to find someone standing at their bedside, and then they also feel an unexplained pressure on their chest, as if someone's trying to suffocate them.
Wow.
So it's a lot of bad things that happened in that building. So if you're gonna stay at a bed and breakfast, maybe don't pick the Oliver House,
Or
I
do.
or
If
or
you're
do, I
if
guess,
it's spooky season and you're into it, I
and
mean,
you're into that
sure,
kind
but,
of thing. Yeah, I
be
guess.
aware.
But that's rough. That's frightening.
That whole story is really scary,
Yeah.
because just see, like, if they are reenacting that
Yeah.
event, I mean, it's one thing to, like, just feel a spooky presence, but and even another thing to see a ghost or a spirit, right? But to see a spirit actually enacting something that's so human,
Yeah.
that's really scary. That might be my line. I may not cross that line.
Yeah.
What do you see or hear right now? I see you looking around.
I don't know. I'm just in my head. I got to get out of here.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Well, that's the end anyway.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
You can come back downstairs where it's
Yeah.
safe. Even though the lights are flickering here too, so who
Yeah.
knows?
Well, but at least there's people here. Down there, up here, there's nothing.
Yeah, you have the spooky attic behind you.
Yeah, I know, and I can't see the door because the green screen. Well, thank you, folks, for taking this journey with us to Bisbee, Arizona, and all of the haunts in Bisbee. If you happen to be a local in that area and you have any kind of information that you want to tell me about some of those things, please reach out. You can leave me a voicemail. You can send me an email. Follow me on any of the socials. All the links are in the show notes. And yeah, so before I sign off, I want to give a special shout out to the newest member of the Patreon. The name is Moose Giggles.
Moose giggles. How
Moose
fun.
Giggles, which is fun.
Does a
Thank
moose
you.
giggle?
I don't know. Maybe they
Imagine.
can clear this up for me. But thank you so much for joining. The Patreon is the lifeblood of this show. This show wouldn't exist without you guys. You guys have been there for me since day one. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, ad-free episodes, early releases, we have a fun little Discord going on, and yeah, just all around good stuff. All kinds of little nip fun things that I throw in there. My Stories for the Nightmare Collective go in there first, and yeah, my ever growing gratitude. So thank you, folks. Thank you so much. Until next time, stay spooky.